Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be some spirit guided messages for the viewers, as well as some pro tips from a psychic on how to get the most out of your reading. And we're going to start off with a message that Spirit was actually giving me during a reading I was doing earlier, but I wrote it down because they told me to share it with everybody. This is an amazing affirmation, actually, because if you guys know, we've talked about this before about the fear of success, because as humans, we are creatures of habit. So even if we don't really enjoy something, if we know it and we know how to react and how to respond to it, then we're gonna hold on to that thing sometimes more, because that it's kind of that saying, the devil rather than the one you don't. And so that's why a lot of people do find themselves being scared of success, so to speak. So this is a great affirmation to say in the morning. Spirit recommends that we say this to ourselves 3 times in the morning in the mirror, when we're washing our face, brushing our teeth, getting ready for our day. And then, of course, throughout the day, if you do so happen to remember or feel called to do so. I will type this up and put it in the comment section below in case anybody misses it. I deserve the blessings of my ancestors, and it is my divine right to be abundant, joyous, and peaceful. That is why I am here now, to claim my destiny, and nothing will stop me, including myself. And so Spirit saying, say it until you believe it, because it is true. And we've been talking a lot about the ancestors and, spirituality over here and the way that things are changing. And a lot of what is going on is our ancestors wanting us to understand that they are around, and wanting us to understand that the work, the trials, the tribulations, everything that they had to do for us to be here. Because for any of us to be here at this point in time, we would have to have thousands upon thousands of ancestors, great grandparents all the way down, who, were around during the Ice Ages, the beginning of time. So, they're the ones inventing fire, inventing the wheel, all of that down to the ancestors that we have known in this lifetime, grandparents, great grandparents who have since gone to pass on. And so it is our divine right, to continue that work, to continue their fight, to continue to heal this world and make it a better place, as Michael Jackson would say. Did not mean to quote Michael, but hey, anytime that we get a Michael quote, it's a good day, because we all know I love Michael Jackson. So that is what we all need to keep in mind going forward. So it's say for instance, you have ancestors that had built something. Maybe they were a part of Black Wall Street. And of course, we all know what happened there, that so many things were stolen from us. It is your divine right and blessing as their offspring, their bloodline, whatever you would want to call it, to go and be successful with their help, to go and rebuild what they tried to build, so that you can be the, ancestor, grandparent that your future generations are going to look back at and say, my grandma Hazel, worked her butt off, and she opened up this online store that then, blew up. And that's why we all have jobs and houses and things now, because a lot of us are going to be the new Trumps in a good way going forwards, because we have learned to call in that assistance of our benevolent ancestors to help us. And so make sure that you are always making that distinction, that it is benevolent ancestors. You don't want to call the Scar from the Lion King type uncle or aunt, and you want the Mufasas, the good ones to come and assist you. But they definitely will, because as we have spiraled into this awakening, the Great Awakening, the Age of Aquarius, the end of times, whatever people want to call it, we have seen the ancestors have awoken, and they have come to assist us so that we can change this world positively. You know, more and more I'm starting to wonder if maybe Africa is heaven, and our whole purpose is that we keep coming back until we restore it to its glory, and then we can all just stay there, you know? But we definitely are going through the literal battle of good and evil. And so that's why it's going to be extremely important, as I've spoken about many times here, for us to use our discernment going forwards, to learn to center ourselves and calm ourselves so that we can trust our own intuition. And that's going to be especially important as more people are seeking enlightenment and are seeking guidance and are seeking to connect to their ancestors, or even, you know, get initiated into some kind of ATR or something like that. And ATR is African traditional religion, for those who don't know. And so, you know, just be very wary if you're getting unsolicited messages on social media saying, I can connect you to your ancestors, or I can activate your third eye, or, you know, even the free question readings, because the thing is, a true gifted person understands that we have a spiritual contract. If we are meant to help people, we will find a way to cross paths with one another, whether that means you find me on Twitter or Station Head or YouTube, or you do a Google search and my website comes up, whatever, and you choose to book with me, then that means that, you know, in a spiritual sense, our energies will align, and I will be able to give you some sort of information that will help you going forwards. But I am not meant to go seek that out from you. You are supposed to be the one that comes to me. And so people who are, you know, sending you these random ass messages like that are usually scammers. You either are psychic or you're not. You know, nobody else can activate your third eye for you. You can work with a mentor to develop your gifts, but nobody can wave a magic wand, meditate enough, put a spell on you or whatever to make you suddenly be psychic and be the most powerful psychic ever. Because think about it, if they were able to do that, they wouldn't have to be out here offering that gift. Why would you? You would just be the best psychic in the world and reap all that for yourself, right? Or they would be so world renowned for their abilities and being able to unlock people's chakras in their third eyes. And be careful with the chakra aligning stuff too, guys. That's another thing. You know, chakras, they need to be aligned more than once. It's not a one and done type of thing. I can sit here and completely align my chakras today and then break up with a boy tomorrow. I don't have a boy to break up with, but I'll find one and do it if I got it. I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's like you can go through, get in a car accident, have a horrible day and get fired. Like, that's going to throw the alignment of your chakras off, and then you're going to have to work through that all over again. And so it's important for you to not try to be lazy or circumvent the process when it comes to things dealing with spirituality, because that's when we invite spiritual presences that we didn't want to come in, spiritual attacks, communicating with spirits that you did not want to communicate with, getting yourself scammed, and there's a bazillion, guys, please, Google is your best friend. Do your own research about crystals. Do your own research about things. Learn for yourself these things so that people can't come and feed you bullshit and scam you. Before you sign on the dotted line for anything more than a reading, make sure you're Googling and seeing, like, does this person have a bunch of, scam reports against them? Is this something that when I type it in, a bunch of, like, beware of, like, psychic scams information is going to come up? Because it is really easy for people to lie and manipulate, and you just don't want to get caught up in that, because I've seen people literally lose hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars behind some of this stuff. And again, you can find chakra alignment information for free all over YouTube. There's tons of meditations that you can do for free on YouTube, healing things, sound baths, all of that kind of stuff. So you don't have to, rely on somebody else for those things, because you should be able to do that for yourself, especially if you are trying to be more spiritual. and you are trying to see, you know, like get in touch with your own intuition and your own gifts and all of that, then you definitely need to know how to do those things to clear your energy, to be able to align your chakras, to be able to protect yourself and block certain things out. That is going to be really important. And especially too, as we have entered into this age of Aquarius and we're about to go into Aquarius season, you know, along with Mercury retrograde, there's going to be some frustrations and some stress and things that pop up. There's going to be truths that are uncovered. There's going to be stuff that's going to make people feel uncomfortable. So it is going to be really important to be clearing your energy. You guys know I've talked before, and if you are new here, I absolutely love moonlucklove.com. I get all of her spiritual soaps, her aura cleanse sprays. I have an order on the way right now to replace a bunch of my stuff because I literally use up all her stuff. But I have right here in front of me the Dragon's Blood bundle. It's white sage and dragon's blood. And then I also have rosemary and white sage. Oh, that one was wanted to start falling apart a little bit. And then I also use her protection incense. And then I also use dragon's blood incense to clear the air and keep my energy in a good place. And I believe I got my Palo Santo the last time. No, I didn't. Intentions Skincare and Body Care sent me a bunch of it as a thank you for placing a really big order with her. So, but I believe that Jen carries Palo Santo on this site as well. So, and I also got my Rose of Jericho from there, but her Aura Cleanse sprays and her soaps, they're super affordable. The Aura Cleanse spray is like $5 or $6, and the soaps are usually like $6 to $10. So even just those two things can go a long way in helping to clear your energy. I use her smudge soap either at night when I'm cleansing myself spiritually, you know, after a long day of readings, or I wash my hands, my chest, my arms with it throughout the day as I'm doing readings as well to cleanse my energy. I spray the aura spray everywhere. So those are just, you know, a couple little things to be aware of as we're moving and shifting forwards and more people are seeking help and wanting to, you know, delve into spirituality. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people, you know, I've been their first reading. A lot more people are going to be getting their first readings, whether it's from me or anybody else. You know, I'm not one of those people that's like, only come to me. I don't care. As long as somebody's like a good reader and they're honest, we're all on the same team. You're not my competition and I don't care. What the most important things to do, because you are opening up your energy to somebody else. So again, you know, even if you're coming and reading with me, because I have to open up my energy to you too, I always pray beforehand for clarity, for a clear connection, that I will be used as a channel to answer all of your guys' questions and deliver the information that you guys need and as quickly as I possibly can. And I also ask for protection for both of us, you know, since we are commingling energies. And then I also ask after the reading to protect and clear our energies and sever that, you know, cord that we created between the two of us during our reading. And I highly suggest that you guys do the same thing. Say a prayer before the reading, before your appointment, say a prayer afterwards. You know, if you feel like you're going to be nervous, write down your questions or your topics of concern. Try not to interrupt the reader, because a lot of times you guys do that and it's like we're on a 15 or a 20-minute reading and you guys have 20 questions, you know, and so it's like, I don't, you know, I channel. So I don't remember, number one, anything I tell you guys in a reading unless you're calling me repeatedly about, you know, like a certain situation as it's unfolding. But on top of it, because I'm channeling and spirit does not like to repeat itself, I'm not going to remember what spirit is telling me as I'm saying the message to you. So that's why it's very important that you let us speak. You know, you can just confirm things, but a lot of times people want to be like, oh my God, that's exactly blah, 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 blah. If you want to like follow up with that and send an email or a text message, totally fine. But I'm just telling you guys so that you can save your time and get the most out of the time that you pay for. Keep in mind that does eat into time, especially because if you're somebody like me who I tend to get booked up, you know, pretty solid throughout my day. And I really do only have a very short amount of time between each reading. And like I said, I have to clear my energy. I have to pray. I have to, you know, reset for the next client. So I can't take a lot of time to go over the amount of time that you guys book for to then, you know, finish everything. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Also, unless something is like so incredibly complicated and you really could only like a 4 to 15 minute reading or something, don't give your reader a whole bunch of information before you guys start, because somebody who isn't ethical is gonna just say, oh, well, I don't even have to try it because you kind of already told me and I can just piece things together on my own, or make an assumption or give you an opinion of what I think is gonna happen instead of truly connecting. You know, of course you don't want to sit there and just be like, I just want to know what's going to happen between me and another person and not give any information whatsoever. But you don't need to tell the whole story about how you guys met when you were 6 years old and then it took you 12 years to date and then you guys broke up for a long time and then you got back together. It's just, you know, me and my boyfriend, his name is James, I'm Tiana, I'm a Gemini, he's an Aquarius, we're having a hard time. Can you tell me, you know, are we going to get through this, or is it time to just start thinking about calling it quits? That is a much better way to go about it, because I don't, you know, when people tell me all that stuff and everything, I'm not even listening, to be honest with you. I'm just listening to what are the names, what is the question in the middle of all of this paragraph of information that you're giving me, and did I get your birthdays out of this, so that way I can start shuffling the cards and asking, or I can start listening to spirit, because especially since I'm a channel, I'm literally, that's why I always keep my headphone on this ear. I hear spirit in my right ear, and so I'm hearing two voices, you know, going in my ears at the same time and trying to make sure that I'm, you know, keeping what's needed and filtering out the rest so that I can hear what this one's saying. But I prefer, you know, to just ask the questions in the moment anyways and get all the information from the cards and spirit in the moment anyways, rather than, okay, you sent me this whole entire paragraph earlier today and now I'm going to go read through it right before we get into our phone call, because you don't want the reader coming into the reading with like this big old bias. But like I said, if there is something that's like, I just have this one question and I could only afford, or I only had time for a 10 or 15 minute reading, that is a different situation. So just, you know, just to keep that in mind for you guys. But if you really want the most unbiased, honest, in the moment, okay, I know for sure you're connected to spirit, keep the information to a minimum and save it for during the phone call. Obviously, email readings and video readings and things like that are differently. And I'm just telling you guys, from somebody who's worked in this business for 20 years, both privately and on psychic lines. And on psychic lines, people are paying per minute, so they want to get their stuff answered as fast as possible, you know. But even direct booking, you know, 20-minute reading, whatever, it's still, time does definitely fly by very quickly. And you want to make sure that you're able to get, you know, as much information as possible. And I am very detailed. I don't just give yes, no, okay, yeah, whatever, you know, like I definitely let you guys know what's going on. So just, you know, again, keep that in mind. Like I said, if you have a bunch of questions, write them down so that way you know you're not going to forget. You can ask a psychic if they are okay with you pre-recording the session. Please do ask beforehand. Some people are not, you know, obviously that can be illegal in some sites and whatnot too, without an agreement or discussion beforehand. But definitely, you know, if that is an option that they're okay with, do so. If not, take notes, because sometimes it is easy to forget, and then you guys come back and you're like, oh, remember when you were telling me? I don't remember, because honestly, I probably talked to 100 different people since the last time I talked to you last week. I also have read on probably 100 different celebrities. And then I've had to deal with my own life stuff. And unfortunately, I am not an Encyclopedia Britannica, mind kind of person that I can just remember absolutely everything in the world. I am just a normal ass human being who has a gigantic bruise like across their whole entire top of their leg, all the way across their hip and their back, because I am a dummy and walked into the dishwasher. And I bruise easy, so I'm limping around right now. So, I don't have special powers. And the other thing that I wanted to advise to when it comes to readings is be wary of the people who are offering a free question, because either that means maybe they're not very great at giving readings, and they're practicing, or it is often a way for them to lure you in. Oh, I'm going to give you a free 1-question reading or $5 relationship reading, and then the next thing you know, you have a curse on you and you need to get cleansed, and I have to burn these candles in the church, and then are quoting you for $2,300 or some shit like that. We have to charge, obviously, because we have bills to pay. There's got to be, lights on and internet for us to be able to even talk to you in the first place. And especially if you want us to be able to be available for you, then often that means that we have to do this full time and forego other income. But on top of it, again, it's just be very careful about the lure of that and who you're sharing your energy with. Because, again, like I said, readings, you opening yourself up to people, and this is also about communicating with people and just sharing too much information about yourself. You're opening up that pathway into your energy, and you're allowing people to get into it, and they can plant not only seeds of doubt, but negative energy in you that then you have to worry about affecting you, and like I said, there are spiritual attacks that are going on right now, and it is going to be very important for you to be even more aware of that going forwards, which is why I never do, the live readings with people, because that means that you are then opening yourself up to every single person who's watching and will watch going forwards to have an entrance into your energy. And that's why I truly believe that readings should be more of a one-on-one type thing, like a massage, rather than this public spectacle for everybody else to be involved in. And that's why, too, I am careful, and I follow when Spirit tells me that it is okay to go ahead and, read on certain people. Like Prince, for example, there's no way in hell that man wants to come in. First of all, he's very picky about who he will contact anyways and communicate with. He's not going to just talk to any medium that calls him. But on top of it, because Prince feels like they messed with him so much, and it did take quite a bit of healing and releasing when he got to the other side, he doesn't want to come commingle his energy down here when everything is as chaotic as it is. So it's like for him, like it's like I already fought to like get rid of that like negative low ass vibe kind of stuff that I don't want touching me. I'm not coming back as a spirit and getting involved with it either. So, there's other spirits that they're like, it's okay because what I have to say is important for people to know so that they can be aware or protect themselves or understand what's going on in a bigger picture sense. So, like, for example, Kanye's mom coming in, for her, it's about, there's a bigger picture of things. And obviously now we see that her son is going through a divorce, and so the information that she had to share was going to be important as we were all moving forwards and seeing this divorce play out. So that is something to keep in mind too, because we obviously don't want to be messing with or opening up people's energy or pulling on it if they're going through something and they kind of need it for themselves, or they're having a bit of a harder time. But at the same time, Sometimes people who are going through those moments need us to look at the bigger picture. So I just follow when Spirit tells me, okay, you can read on this person. Okay, this person wants to come through and communicate with you. So the last Spirit guided message that Spirit wants to share with everybody is try to, we're still obviously adjusting to this new normal. And a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with is very intense, because we went through this major pandemic last year. And obviously we've had to kind of rotate and shift and pivot so many times to keep up as restrictions get lifted and put back in place and new normals are installed and everything. So of course, that can be extremely stressful for people, but Spirit wants you to give yourself permission to find joy and to embrace the things that make you happy, like down to the smallest thing of, I really enjoy writing with this pen every day, or my 5 minutes that I go outside and stretch and look at the sun while I have my first cup of coffee. Like, really just enjoy that moment and feel good in it. And don't feel ashamed to feel good in something, because that is part of changing that mindset to, I deserve good things. This is meant for me. This is my divine right. Because yes, we do have spiritual purposes for being here, but God did not place all of us on this earth at this time and makes us keep coming back so that all we can do is be miserable the entire time. We're still supposed to be able to love, be happy, be blessed. God understands the bigger picture of that. If we are blessed, we can bless others more. It's just us that has to open up our energy to say, okay, I'm ready to receive it because I understand that I deserve it. Because when we understand that we deserve something and we're ready to receive it, then we can express the most gratitude and do the most with it. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. And we will be talking more about more of the spiritual things that are going on. I obviously have to be careful about certain things that I say, both in context of protecting myself spiritually, protecting you guys spiritually, and also not getting us all booted off of this platform either. But I really, truly do appreciate all of the support that you guys have given me. I know that this is my divine destiny and purpose to help others in this way. Otherwise, I'll be honest with you, there is no way in hell I would have signed up to be a psychic. Because it's not always fun and it's not always easy, and sometimes it can be really stressful. But it's also extremely rewarding seeing you guys come back and be like, oh my God, I met the person you told me about, or I started the business, and it's going really well. And just seeing you guys grow is amazing too, and that's a blessing for me. And I never want you guys to be dependent on me. I am trying to empower you guys so that you can go out there and do things that are going to help you succeed and help you honor, your ancestors and fulfill that divine right that you were placed here for. So with that said, I hope you like, comment, subscribe. We do giveaways over here because I always love giving back. We will be on Station Head doing a giveaway tomorrow. I'm going to do the Barb's party tonight too. And also make sure that you have an amazing night and stay prayed up. I love you all. Bye.